Hello and a very warm welcome to you. If you're expecting a little one, I know your mind is probably buzzing with a million questions and dreams. But right at the top of that list, I'm willing to bet, is a simple, powerful thought. How can I give my child the absolute best start in this world? Well, you are in the right place because today we are diving deep into the incredible and often surprising ways you can nurture your baby's potential starting right now.
So let's just tackle the big question right out of the gate, the one that so many of us wonder about. Is your baby's intelligence, their potential, already decided? Is it all just locked in by genetics from the moment of conception? We see brilliant parents and just assume, of course, they're going to have a brilliant baby. It can feel like it's all just a roll of the genetic dice, totally out of our hands. But is that really the whole picture?
Okay, look at this, because this right here is where things get really exciting. On one hand, yes, you have what we can call the divine blueprint. This is the incredible foundation given to your child by our Creator, and it accounts for a huge chunk, somewhere between 50 and 80% of their development. But look at that other column. That's you. Your nurturing, the environment you create, can shape a massive 20 to even 50% of their potential. That is not a small number. That is a huge window of opportunity. During pregnancy, you are your baby's entire world. And what you do, what you eat, how you feel, it can literally influence how their brain is built and which of those amazing God-given genes get switched on.
So, if you have this amazing power to influence your baby's development, where on earth do you begin? Well, we start at the most fundamental place possible: nutrition. Think about it. You can't build a strong, beautiful house without the right bricks and mortar. It's the exact same for your baby's brain. So right now, we're going to talk about the absolute essential building blocks for that incredible little mind.
Let's meet the undisputed superstar of brain development, DHA. You've probably heard of it, but let's really get into what it is. DHA is a special type of omega-3 fat, and it's not just helpful for the brain, it is the brain. It is the literal, physical substance that your baby's brain is made of. It makes the outer membranes of brain cells soft and flexible, which is absolutely critical for them to send and receive messages. So when we call it the master brain builder, we're not exaggerating. It's the main event.
Okay, so timing is everything, right? When does your baby need this the most? Well, things really start to get serious around the 20-week mark. From this point on, your baby is like a little sponge, actively pulling huge quantities of DHA straight from your body. Then you hit the third trimester. And this is the grand finale. It is peak season for brain building. The amount of DHA being transferred to your baby is at its absolute highest, and the payoff is enormous. Studies have shown, time and again, that babies whose moms had plenty of DHA tend to have better focus, sharper memories, and even stronger problem-solving abilities as they grow. It's about setting that strong foundation from day one.
Great, you're thinking, I need it. Where do I get it? The good news is, it's pretty simple. The #1 best source is fatty fish. Think delicious salmon, or even sardines if you're a fan. You can also find eggs that are specifically fortified with DHA. And this next one is non-negotiable. Take a good look at your prenatal vitamin. Flip it over, read the label. You want to see a dedicated amount of DHA, ideally somewhere in the range of 300 to 600 milligrams every single day.
But here's the twist. Just eating enough DHA isn't always the whole story. See, inside our bodies, there's a little bit of a friendly competition going on. I like to call it the Omega Wars. And to make it really simple, just think of it as a parking problem that's happening right inside your baby's developing brain cells.
Let me walk you through this. Our modern diets are absolutely swimming in another type of fat called omega-6. It's in everything: vegetable oils, processed snacks, you name it. Now, omega-6 and omega-3, our hero DHA, have to use the exact same doorways, the same parking spots, to get into your baby's cells. And since there's just so much omega-6 in our food, it gets there first, floods the system, and takes up all the available spots. This leaves the most important player, the brain-building DHA, circling the block, unable to find a place to park and get to work. So what's the fix? You don't need to get rid of omega-6 entirely. You just need to make sure you're bringing in enough omega-3 to compete, to even out the odds and make sure it gets its rightful spot.
And this chart just shows you how dramatic that change has been. For most of human history, our ancestors ate a diet where the ratio of these fats was pretty much balanced, about 1-to-1, perfect harmony. Now, fast forward to today. The average modern diet? It's completely skewed. We're looking at a ratio that's closer to 1-to-20. That's why we have to be so intentional about this. We can't just assume we're getting enough of the good stuff anymore. We have to actively seek it out.
Now, while DHA is the star quarterback, every great team needs an incredible supporting cast.
So let's talk about the unsung hero of brain development, a nutrient called choline. If DHA is building the structure of the brain, choline is the master electrician, making sure all the wiring works perfectly. It doesn't get as much press, but trust me, it is absolutely essential.
So what's choline's job description? It's a busy one. It plays a massive role in building the hippocampus, which is the memory center of the brain. It's also critical for protecting the neural tube early in pregnancy. And get this, one amazing study showed that babies whose moms got extra choline during pregnancy had brains that could process information significantly faster. Think of it as upgrading their brain's internal internet speed from dial-up to fiber optic. It's that powerful.
So how much choline are we talking about? To keep it super simple and memorable, just remember this number, 2. For most pregnant women, a fantastic goal to shoot for is getting the amount of choline found in about 2 egg yolks per day, on top of what's already in a good prenatal. The yolks are where all the good stuff is. So 2 eggs a day is a great simple way to get you in that optimal zone.
All right, so we've stocked the construction site with all the best materials, the DHA and the choline. Now we need to talk about the work environment. Because your lifestyle, how you move your body, how you rest, and how you handle your emotions is creating the very atmosphere your baby is growing and thriving in.
This might be my favorite part because it's so empowering. Did you know that when you work out, you're giving your baby's brain a workout too? It's true. Gentle, moderate exercise boosts blood flow and, more importantly, oxygen delivery to the placenta. It's like sending a supercharged shipment of fuel right to the brain-building factory. Research has even found that at birth, babies of moms who exercise have brain activity that's more mature. And that benefit lasts. They often grow up to be better at handling stress themselves. And listen, we're not talking about running marathons here. A beautiful walk outside, a gentle swim, some prenatal yoga, that is the sweet spot.
Of course, for every bit of activity, there has to be an equal and opposite force, rest. And please do not underestimate the power of sleep. It is not passive time. When you're resting, your body is doing some of its most important work. Your growth hormone levels peak, your stress hormones reset for the next day, and it's the prime time for all those amazing nutrients we talked about to be delivered efficiently to your baby. Your rest is quite literally their growth time, so embrace it.
Now let's have an honest chat about stress. Because pretending you can go through pregnancy without any stress is just impossible and unhelpful. Here's the key. We have to understand the difference between everyday stress and chronic stress. Did you have a tough deadline at work? A silly argument with your partner? That's just life. Your body and your babies are incredibly resilient and built to handle those short bursts. It's the long-term, relentless, high-level stress that we want to manage, because that can start to shape the baby's developing nervous system. The goal is never to eliminate stress. It's to build in little moments of calm, little pockets of peace to let your system reset.
Okay, we've covered the body and the building blocks, but there's another layer to this that is just so beautiful. It's about the connection you're already building. It's about starting your very first conversation with your child, long before you ever get to hold them in your arms. Just let that one sink in for a second. By 25 weeks of pregnancy, your baby's hearing is well developed. They can hear you. Not just muffled sounds, but the actual rhythm, the melody, the cadence of your voice. They are learning to recognize the person who is their entire world. It's amazing. Studies have shown that newborns will physically turn their heads towards their mother's voice over a stranger's. They'll even recognize songs or stories they heard over and over in the womb. That bond is already happening. So how do you talk to them? It's the simplest, most natural thing in the world. You just live your life out loud. As you're making your tea in the morning, just chat with them about it. Pick a favorite children's book and read a page or two out loud every night. Sing along to your favorite songs in the car. They don't care if you're off-key. And make sure they hear the voices of the other important people in their life, their father, their siblings. You are their very first teacher, and the sound of your voice is their first and most comforting lesson.
So as we start to pull all of these threads together, you can really see the big picture. It isn't about finding one secret trick or one magic pill. It's about consciously creating a holistic, nurturing environment. It's about building a foundation from lots of different simple pillars that all work together to support your baby's amazing development. And we can't wrap this up without paying tribute to the unsung hero of pregnancy, the placenta. This incredible organ is your baby's entire life support system. It's the bridge that carries every single thing we've talked about, the DHA, the oxygen from your walk, the nutrients from your food, to your baby. So everything you do to support your own health, from staying hydrated to eating well, is also building a strong, healthy placenta. And a healthy placenta means a thriving, well-fed baby brain.
And here it is, all laid out visually. Look at the big pieces of the pie. Nutrition, that DHA and choline is the biggest chunk, for sure. But right behind it, you have your lifestyle pillars, that gentle movement, that crucial rest and stress management, and weaving through it all is that beautiful emotional connection you're building with your voice. All of it works together, creating one amazing environment for your little one.
So if you take away only one thing from all of this, let it be this. After all the science, after all the lists and the tips, the single most powerful factor in your baby's development is you. A mother who feels loved, who feels safe, nourished, and supported creates the absolute best environment for her baby's God-given potential to blossom. This is not a test. It's not about perfection. It is simply about being aware, being intentional, and loving yourself through the process.
This knowledge isn't meant to be pressure, it's meant to be empowering. It shows you just how much of a positive impact you are already having on this incredible journey. So I'll leave you with a little food for thought. Knowing what you know now, what is one small, simple thing you can do today, right now, to nurture that incredible potential growing inside you?